Today on Ballistic BBQ, we're going to be grilling up a chicken on the Sunterra Pro Series Argentine grill, and we're going to finish it off with a really good, very easy cherry brandy glaze. Let's get going. So here's the star of today's show, a 5 1/4 pound chicken. We're going to cut it in half. So I'm going to give you guys a tip that has saved me a lot of money and a lot of headaches, and that's pruning shears. Instead of spending a lot of money on those very expensive poultry shears, these work better, they last longer, and they're a lot cheaper. Don't skimp out and buy a good expensive pair, but even the expensive pair of shears are cheaper than a name brand poultry shear, and make sure they're stainless steel. These things will cut through anything, including, turkey ribs. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the tail of this chicken. The spine runs this way, and we're going to use these shears to cut along each side of the spine. You can see it's just so easy with these shears. You can save this, put it in the freezer, use it for soup stocks if you wish. The next thing we're going to do is what they call spatchcocking this chicken. And ultimately I'm going to cut it in half, but we have to go through the spatchcock process first. So right here at the neck of this bird is a piece of cartilage, and that's where the wishbone is. Now, this is where a lot of people will flip the bird over and then kind of push it down. I don't like doing that. I mean, you're breaking bones and everything, and I think if you're going to spatchcock, this is actually a better technique. It lays down a lot flatter. What I'll do is I'll take a knife and just make a single incision through that cartilage. Now I'll push it open, turn it around, and right here is the keel bone, which is basically the breastbone, and then it ends up with a little cartilage there. What I'm going to do is remove that, and it's easy. Again, just push it, take your thumb and just get it underneath and run it all the way down through that on the side of the cartilage. On this side we're going to push it, then just get your thumb underneath and run it down again, down that cartilage. If you wanted, you could leave it this way, but again, why leave it that way? Just pluck it out. Grab it by both sides of that breastbone, just pluck it out. And usually this cartilage piece comes out with that breastbone. This time I decided not to, but easy. So now this is a spatchcock chicken, and you can see it lays very, very flat. I have decided for this cook I'm going to cut it in half. So first thing I'm going to do is just trim off these kind of raggedy edges here, these pieces of skin, loose pieces of skin and fat. That looks good. Flip it around so you can see. So now there's no spine there. We're going to cut it in half, and you can see it's very easy. I'm going to clean up my cutting board here, then we'll season this chicken up. So like I said, we're going to finish these towards the end of the cook with a brandy and cherry preserved glaze. So I'm just going to keep it really simple. Salt and pepper. Kosher salt on both sides. Fresh ground black pepper. So I want to monitor the progress of this cook. So I'm going to take one of these meter probes and put it in the thigh here. And I'm also going to be relying on an instant read thermometer. This will just kind of give me an idea where I'm at. Let's get these birds on the cooker. So I'm using lump charcoal, and I have the laser cut grates in place. Then for this cook, we're going to use the Versa lid. And I'm going to add a little bit of hickory. It's a chunk of hickory down there. So what this Versa lid is doing is it's trapping heat and smoke underneath the lid, and it's kind of creating an oven effect, or like a closed grill effect. And it's a really fun way to cook, and it's kind of a game changer on an open grill like this. It's still, you're still getting that live fire open grill experience, but again, it's kind of almost baking the chicken underneath there, which is really, really cool. All I really need to do at this point is monitor the temps. If I see that it's getting a little too hot, that meter probe not only monitors the interior of the food temperature, but the ambient temperature. So it's telling me what the temperature is underneath that Versalid. So if I see that it's getting too hot, I can raise the grate if I need to, or I can push some of the charcoal away from directly underneath the chicken. If it's getting too cool, I can lower the grate or move the charcoal around again to increase the temperature. I'm looking for about 175, 180 at the highest in the thigh. Again, I'm using the meter kind of as like a guideline, I guess. I'll double check everything with an instant read once I reach those target temperatures. Right now, what we're going to do is make that brandy and cherry glaze. So I'm going to start off with some store-bought cherry preserves. These are good. And I will have the entire recipe down below in the description box. Now here I have some brandy, and if anyone's been watching me for a while, they know I love my pickling spice and sauces. So last night I added a little bit of pickling spice to this brandy and just kind of let it steep overnight. Softens up those herbs and it just really makes the sauce awesome in my opinion. And I love the little seeds in the sauce. They're soft, they don't hurt your teeth or anything when you're eating. Some white vinegar, a little bit of acid, needs that. This is some ground California chili. I wanted a little heat. This has a little bit of heat, but not a lot. My wife doesn't like a lot of spice, but if you wanted to kick it up, a pinch of cayenne would really be good. Some salted butter. Wanted a little fat, wanted a little salt. So now what I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil, then reduce it to a simmer. And really what I'm trying to do is just reduce that brandy a little bit. I don't want to make this ridiculously thick. Again, I want it to be that kind of glaze consistency. That's all there is to it. Okay, chicken's been cooking for about 15 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and flip the birds. So again, I'm just keeping an eye on temps. I'll probably flip it again in another 15 minutes. All right, another 15 minutes has passed, and I want to get these flipped. Look at that. Beautiful. I'll go ahead and switch sides here. This bird's cooking a little faster than this one here. Probably going to need to adjust the coals underneath a little bit. It's looking good. I said this bird, it's the same bird. The other half. It's looking really good. And right now, the thigh in that one half of the bird is running at about 146. So still have a little ways to go, but we're getting very close. I'll be probably glazing it here fairly soon. So we're at 165 degrees Fahrenheit now. It's time to glaze. So I'll be using an instant read from now on. This did its job and it did a good job. So I'm going to get the backs of these first. Wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling right now. This is amazing. So I'm guessing another 5-10 minutes to let that sauce set up and we'll be done. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Target temps have been met and I am very, very happy with the way this looks and the way it smells. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these halves off of the pit, let them rest. Then we're going to slice it up, give you guys a try. And here we are. This chicken is ridiculously juicy and I cannot wait to try this out. cut this up in the kitchen, and my wife helped me plate it. So thank you, honey. This looks good. All right, let's give this a try. I'll go with a piece of the breast meat here first. And one thing I like to do is I always like to cut the breast halves in half. It's always the white meat tells you how good it is. And this is just juicy as all get out. So right off the bat, you definitely get a nice smoky flavor, a nice grilled flavor. The sauce has a really nice tang to it. I mean, it's not ridiculously sweet at all, but it has a really nice, slightly sweet, you know, cherry flavor. The brandy's coming through, a little teeny bit of heat. I mean, it's a very well balanced sauce. I'm very happy with it. I didn't want it to come off like I was eating a candied apple or anything. I wanted it to be sweet, kind of savory, and I think it accomplished that. And again, I'm glad I put the vinegar in there. And I always love using those pickling spices. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. I was very happy with this cook. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, please hit that red button. Make sure you ring the notification bell. Thumb it up if you like it. I hope you did. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.